And welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are playing Factorio. All right, I have to notify everybody. I lost about 11 minutes of footage. I was in the middle of recording this episode, and my system locked up. And after several choice words, loaded back up. This was an autosave, so this started. You know, this is 11 minutes in. I got the yellow science operational. We've got it all run over here. I've got the high density structures coming in over here. Obviously the flying robot frames and the what else? The blue circuits. Blue circuits are snaked underneath and around and through and all sorts of places here. You can see right here is where they're coming from. I really need to expand the radar. This is annoying that I can't see my base. But yeah, this is going to consume a lot of those blue circuits, unfortunately. You can hit P to get your production statistics. Now, I would recommend going to at least 1 minute. It's really hard to catch anything in here. 5 seconds. 1 minute is good. This gives you an idea of your production per minute, because, you know, it's 1 minute. So you can see blue circuits, roughly 16 to 17 per minute production, roughly 16 per minute consumption. So this'll, you know, sort of ebb and sway a little bit. This should remain steady at 16. So we are producing enough blue circuits, just barely enough blue circuits to keep us going. The other thing I wanted to point out is I turned off coal to all of the places that were smelting. There was one coal line right here. This line right here was basically feeding every single one of our coal smelting operations. Steel has already basically run dry, which is weird that this is just now, like, coming into the fray. Interesting. Yeah, I'm going to have to look at that again here in a little bit. But anyway, yeah, other than that, I mean, you know, 11 minutes in, I don't exactly know what I was talking about. Don't exactly have a photographic memory when it comes to that stuff, and hopefully my computer behaves for the foreseeable future. All right, I was actually running these lovely utility science, this yellow science, down where it is needed. Just trying get this squared off as much as possible. I could use the poison. I don't want to just devastate, you know, too big of an area in here. All right. Looks like all this progress is saved. I switched this back over. Okay. I'm going to probably do the same thing I did there. Go under that, because there is one more science pack that we have to get done. This, I want to go over this. Okay, we don't really have quite enough to make a big difference right now. We are producing. Well, I could even look at this. 1 minute. I'm not seeing science pack anywhere in here. Where's my filter? SC. There's science. 36 a minute. No, it's got to be 24 a minute. It's not. It can't even. Yeah, can't even be that. These are 20-second crafts. That's one 20 seconds for 3, so that's 3, 6, 20, 40, 60. 3, 6, 9. Oh, yeah, that's 36 a minute. 9 times 4? Roughly? It's a little under that, actually. Is there a debut yellow science that we want to do ahead of everything else? Yes. Logistics system is going to require 500 of those things, so we can't quite do that. So let's go tackle while this builds up. I like to, when I first enable it, I like to have enough to at least fill this down here. And once this is full, you know, then I should have enough to go around. Okay, so let's see. How do we want? I want to use. I want to use some coal down here. Because there's this coal on the top. It should burn through this wood really fast. Not nearly as much fuel value. 2 megajoules, 4 megajoules. Yeah, there's half as much in there. And when I grab the rest out of there, it should help me out. You know, I want to do this, do this, like that. Empty these out. We should have plenty of consumption going on down here. There we go. Now we're cooking. All right, how is our power looking? Oh, not bad. Copper, though, is hurting. His copper is basically depleted all the way down there. So anybody out there, I have gotten, you know, over the last 3 years is the time my system has started doing this lockup thing. Let me explain a little bit about the issue. I had built this machine and upgraded it about a year before the issue started happening. So there's no telling what actually is causing it. But without warning, without any errors, without anything to the log file, without any indication that something went wrong, the system just stops. Okay, it just stops. There's no error code on the motherboard. I have an Asus motherboard. There's no error code. There's nothing to indicate something catastrophic happened. And yet, something catastrophic happened. It's crazy. Crazy to think about. But I have tried all of the things. Literally all of the things to get it to work again, to get it to stop. I've replaced the video card, I've replaced the platter drive, I replaced the power system, the power supply, I put a battery backup system on the power. Like, I have done so many of the things to try to get it to stop doing it that at this point I am at a loss for why it's doing it. If there was an error, if there was something in the log file, I might have a chance of sorting it out. But again, there's nothing. There's no warning. Sometimes, now I'm not done explaining this. This is going to take a little bit. Sometimes when I have to hard shut my machine off, you know, hold in the power button, wait for it to die. You know, wait a few, wait 10 plus seconds, and start it back up again. Sometimes when it comes up and the BIOS comes up and it does its post, the BIOS will give me a warning that says overclocking failed. Okay, nothing on the system is overclocked. There is not one thing that is overclocked on this system. Just to clarify that. Now, I've gone through over the last year, every time it does it, every time I get that warning, I went into the BIOS and I disabled a whole bunch of stuff. You know, different stuff every time. And all of it was, you know, auto turbo mode. And, you know, all of the things that indicated that they adjusted the clock speed of the machine, I went through and disabled them. Nothing helped. If anything, I was locking up more often. But again, that's not exact. Okay. So on top of all of that, we've got this overclocking failed that doesn't really mean anything. It really doesn't. It's nothing is overclocked. So I don't know what the system is doing. I don't know enough about super low level computer stuff. I mean, I've been working with computers for almost 30 years, and I obviously don't know everything. But there's something in there that kicks off randomly inside the computer. It's not exact. It doesn't happen all the time, but every once in a while something happens and the system just locks up. It's not thermal related. I have all of the monitoring stuff on my computer, and the thermals every time. I was literally playing one day and recording. On my other monitor, I had the CPU thermal thing up. I forget which low-level app it was, but it was just showing thermals. I had that on my other monitor, and I locked up. I think I was probably in between episodes or something, and I locked up, and the first thing I looked at was that other monitor, because when I lock up, the screen freezes. Okay? My keyboard lights go out. The lights on my keyboard go out. Everything just freezes. And the thermals that were showing real-time thermals were fine. There was nothing wrong with my thermals whatsoever. And so it's not the thermals. And that was, you know, that's always somebody's first, like, oh, it's got to be your thermals. It's got to be, you know, you got to be pushing your thermals too hard. And it's like, no, it's not that. So is this ready to go out? Yeah. That's close enough. Close enough. So again, I'm at a complete loss. And just like last... Oh, what was it? I want to say there was a month that just passed where I went like 50-something days without locking up whatsoever. And I was the longest I've gone in the last 3 years without ever locking up once. And so I don't know what was different. I don't know what I did differently. I don't know. I mean, my schedule, my routine is pretty straightforward. There's nothing much that changes. And I honestly have no idea what it was. Like why my system went a month without logging up. And now in the last week it's done it twice. So if you have a magic wand or you work for ASUS or something, if somebody gave me some kernel of knowledge of why the system is doing what it's doing, that would be so helpful. I mean, you just don't know. You just don't know how helpful that would be. You know, you reach out and be like, oh yeah, well, this is, you know, I work for ASUS. This is what it is. This is what's causing that. I would be over the moon. Because it's like that makes sense, or whatever it is. I just don't know. I am at a complete loss for what's wrong. And I appreciate, you know, there have been videos past where people have said, "Hey, have you tried this?" And I very much appreciate that. But I have pulled out every known trick in the book to figure out what is causing it, and nothing is pointing to me in the right direction. And, you know, making roughly $200 a month, I can't afford like a whole new system, or even to get a new OS to try Windows 10 or something like that, because I'm on Windows 7. If anybody didn't realize that. And so, like, you know, if that could be the problem, then I'm all for changing it. I just can't afford it. I was gonna try to get some new hardware with like the stimulus check and stuff like that, but you know, it's just, yeah. I didn't know what direction to go to, and I couldn't afford a whole new system. That's wasn't in the cards. But yeah, man, I just don't know. But when it happens, it is beyond frustrating. It's beyond aggravating. Because I lose all the footage that I record when it does it. Oh, look at that. Produce 1,000 processing units per hour. Sweet. Okay, so the next one's going to go here. Then this. Then this. Then this. And then this. So, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what I want to do, I'm not in logistics range over here. I'm barely not in. Ooh. What I could do. Oh, I really don't want to mess around with that. Put that over there for now. Oh, come on. How much coal? Wow. I need to get this system up and running again. So I can get over to steel, continue with that. Okay, this was placed, which means we should be covered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this and just paste it. And that should use quite a few of my bots. You can see I've got 13 construction bots left. We can clear these top out. We can clear these out. And just for funsies, we're going to give ourselves some ample space here. Because if I wanted to do 1, 2, I could do 3 more on each one of those. Hey, look at that. Construction. Oh, nice. They're slow, but they get the job done. All right. The other thing I want is substations. This is one where I grabbed a bunch of substations. Because we can go... I want to... Okay, clear you, clear you, clear you. I do not want these connected yet. So let's go straight down here. Nice grid out like that. Now I can hook these up. And finally, huge bump in the power that we're using, but a dramatic decrease in the amount of pollution we're generating over here. There we go. That one's all converted. Oh, let's get rid of this. I don't need that on me. Finally, my iron's going away. Once the copper starts flowing again, the iron will start getting used up. Like, they're all tied together. This is going to be a nightmare over here. Oh my lord, this is going to be a nightmare. How many of the things are in here now? 612. I think that should be enough. We can start pushing that down into the system. All right. Well, we have a whole lot here to unpack. All right. So the first things first, the coal line needs to come away. So this is a part of the game that I actually enjoy, because you're cleaning up old processes, old systems. Yeah, I could use bots for all of this, but I don't really have the logistics set up yet for bots to be truly effective. All of this is going to move because, again, the new system is... Oh, Lord. You know what? We're just going to go with it. We're going to roll with it. Then give me... I have a feeling I'm going to have a lot of steel when I'm done with this. The coal, you can literally take the coal and just dump it into... Oh, I didn't want to grab coal. There it is. You just dump it into boilers. Helps a lot. So anyway, yeah. When it comes to my lockups, I mean, unless you have like an exact thing that I can try, a utility that will monitor something, like I'm at a total loss as to what is happening. Get rid of you, get rid of you. Because at this point, it's gonna be an undetermined amount of time when I'd be able to afford like a new system. Because I would want... I've already replaced one of the hard drives. Haven't replaced a solid state. I mean, again, that could be it. This is my first time, the first computer I've ever owned that had a solid state drive in it. And I've never had this problem before. So it could be that, but I've had no drive errors. I've had no issues whatsoever. Oh, iron plate is full. Okay. Good lord. Well, here's some iron plate we can drop in. There we go. Alright, if we leave that alone, we're going to have to move this belt. We don't need that supplemental coal anymore. We grab... So the new belt would have to be out here. This would have to be you, you, and you. Okay. Are we covered with logistics down here? No. Can we be covered with logistics? We could. Right there. Is he powered? He's not powered. Okay. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's just put in. Get rid of those that way. Now I could. Let's grab all these up. Hey, we can make some steel chests now. Steel output. This might have to move, but we'll worry about that in a little bit. Iron ore. Okay, all of those are good. Woo. Cleaning this up. We're already probably drastically lower on the pollution out here. Oh yeah, we were tickling this base here. Like, just having this shut down for a while has helped. Okay, we don't have anything there. Okay. So, let's see. The best way. We do this. Copy that. There we go. Not really worried about throughput yet. We're not actually using, surprisingly enough, we're not actually using a whole lot of steel, which is weird. I would think that we would be using oh, it's called copper, that's why. If we had more copper coming out of here, we would be actually using a ton of steel. Yeah, I'm tempted to put another one of these in, except the fact that this moves so much. Because I could bring these down. These could stay up. And then have a second or a third even line coming out. Or just adding on to the... Oh, I just saw an error. You, sir. Oops. If anybody saw that and was screaming in the comments, I apologize. Oh, the other thing I want to apologize for, I set up a pump jack, a water pump jack down here because I was like, I don't think I have one. Well, there's one right there. It's literally directly above it. There was a water pump jack right there. So the chemistry, the chem labs use the exact same ingredients. So bingo, chem lab. All right. We have ourselves a good time. So, problem. These don't make it all the way to the edge. We would need to do something like this, which we could do. It actually works really well. All you need to do is underground under there, underground under there. Okay, now when I copy and paste, I want to copy all of these. Yeah, see, we're going to need to move that. I figured we were going to need to, but I wasn't 100%. Really, there's nothing I can do about that. Let's go drop off a lot of this old yellow belt. There, yellow those. A whole bunch of yellow of those. And yellow undergrounds. Keeping the flow going. How is that copper full? Huh. That little extra that we added there, that made a huge difference. Of course, these are still full, so they had way more to put out than they were leading me to believe there. Okay. So these here. Wait, what? Why are those in the way? Okay. That's a lot of production. How do we want to handle this? Let's put this here. Just as some place to, you know, put in excess stuff that I have. What happened to my... Oh. I was like, what happened to my iron? It looks like I disconnected those for some reason. And there we have steel. There we go. Now we're talking. I doubt this is going to make it all the way to the end. Seriously, seriously doubt that. I might need to upgrade some more of this. To red belt. I hate when I get droppings. Yeah, it's pretty thin down here. We're gonna need another belt in order to make that work. All right, well, that is gonna do it for this episode, and I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.